From the classic yellow bricks of 1978 to the modular masterpieces, LEGO has captured the medieval image perfectly. Whether you're a nostalgic fan or in awe of the modular beast that is the Lion Knight's castle, there is something unique going on for both in all models. In this video, we're deep diving into the evolution of LEGO castles from 1978 to 2022, comparing their charm, uniqueness, and creativity. To begin, the very first LEGO castle set was released in 1978. Set 375-2 came with a whopping 14 minifigures, 4 brick-built horses, and a piece count of between high 600s and low 700s. This castle set the table for the beginning of some fantastic castles and medieval sets to come to LEGO. It is a very rare set that would cost you somewhere between $300 and $500 Canadian used, or possibly more. And after further research scouring eBay, Bricklink, and local marketplaces, it seems highly unlikely that you'd be lucky enough to find one of these sets still untouched and sealed. It is a classic and nostalgic set that is still breathing a breath of fresh air in 2025. You get a working red brick built drawbridge from the front with 2 towers and 1 in the back. The playability this set offers is absolutely unmatched, from the nostalgic feel to imagination, as the set opens from the back exposing its entirety. The castle also features a variety of shields, hinting at future factions to come, not to mention how this set effectively jump-started the beating heart of LEGO castles as a theme. Second is the King's Castle from 1984. Set 6080 came with 12 minifigures, a variety of horses, and a total of 674 pieces. This was one of the very first few castle sets to introduce the LEGO Lion Knights faction, a faction that would come to last 51 years up to 2025. This set, much like the Yellow Castle, was highly loved and would cost upwards of a few thousand for a sealed model. The castle itself featured a working drawbridge and portcullis, the strong and wooden heavy gate within the castle. It also had hinged sections to allow for strong playability. You could also integrate the set with others like the Guardian Inn, making its modular aspect quite favorable at this time. There were also noticeable improvements like the now molded horses, larger printed castle pieces for the walls featuring stonework, and the black and gray color pattern contributing to a less monochromatic look that makes it much more aesthetically pleasing. Moving on, the Black Knight's Castle, or Set 6086, was released in 1992. It included 12 minifigures, 4 horses, and 588 pieces. Just like the 2 previous models, a used set would cost you between $350 and $600 USD, and upwards of $2,000 for a sealed one. Damn! This set showed a variety of noticeable increases in overall aesthetic and design, as it was raised on a base plate with a central courtyard and high castle walls. It had a working and much larger drawbridge and portcullis than the 1984 model, and started to show the creativity aspect that we'll see in the 2022 Lion Knight's Castle, with a secret chamber with treasure in a dungeon. This set also included barding designs for the horses, which had only been seen before in the 1990 iteration of the Lion Knight's Castle. The last LEGO castle set to be released in the 1990s was the King's Castle, released in 1995. Set 6090 included 11 minifigures, 3 horses, and 163 pieces. This set used goes for roughly $300 to $600 USD, but upwards of $1,800 sealed. And it features a working drawbridge at the side of the castle, which is a bit odd to me, but also now not a brick-built portcullis, but a molded steel bar one. This castle set was one of the very first sets to include proper detailed interiors, or at least the beginning of including them, with a few rooms spread here and there. The set included a molded crown and other various printed shields and barding that started to bring LEGO Castle into more modernized condition. The blue, black, and gray with hints of red makes this classic castle really stand out. Moving ahead 15 years, the Kingdoms theme released the King's Castle in 2010. Set 7946 included 8 minifigures, a single horse, and 933 pieces. This time the factions weren't Black Falcon versus Lion Knights, but rather Dragon Knights versus Lion Knights. It had a working drawbridge and portcullis, including an even more updated and modernized version of the mold. It's clear to see LEGO was moving into a more modularized design, even from 15 years ago. Even though there was still a blank courtyard, there was now more designs alongside the insides of the wall, like armor stands or areas to place the minifigures, plus little rooms to go in inside the larger towers. The next castle set is something you absolutely love or despise. The King's Castle, released in 2014, or Set 70404, was arguably much worse compared to the previous 2010 release. It came with 7 minifigures, just 1 horse, and 996 pieces. However, as we've seen up to this point in the video, every castle seems to have improved from its previous counterpart, but not 70404. In my opinion, the set moved back a few steps with this overly simplistic design. Even the 2010 version had printed wall pieces all throughout, which this castle featured just a few times. The set used the same portcullis mold and the exact same drawbridge, The set had a few great things going for it, like added modular aspects, but really to me, it seems blank if I had to describe it in one word. The castle set also copied the previous Dragon Knights, but changed the color combo from green to red and black. Even if this set did set castle back a bit, it was still a solid and respective castle for its time. Now for the Beast, the most recent LEGO castle set being the Lion Knight's Castle, released in 2022. Set 10305 came with a crazy 22 minifigures, 2 horses, a cow, and a staggering 4,514 pieces. This set was a remake of the original Lion Knight's Castle set from 1984 and portrays a much more modular and modern design than its counterpart. The set currently retails for 499 Canadian or 399 USD, but could potentially be leaving LEGO production by the end of 2025 in December. Starting on the exterior with different levels of grass, trees, and brush alongside the castle walls. Then you have the water underneath the entrance to the castle, which as a builder was slightly disappointing, mainly because it's just purely stud based. You also get countless flags, shields, and 2 printed Lion Knight flags displaying their faction throughout the castle. Similar to the Yellow Castle, this set opens up from the back to expose its playability in a dollhouse-like fashion. Starting left to right from top to bottom, the interior on the top floor gives you an armor stand with shields, helmets, and weaponry, and a bedroom with a toy Yellow Castle for the kids to play with, hinting at set 375, obviously. The second floor gives you access to another entrance using Technic pieces for a movable gate, a singular horse stable, and a dining room with a nice fireplace and some shields hanging up, also reminiscent of the Yellow Castle set. On the bottom floor you get a room to hide treasure, a dungeon for the skeleton or other intruders, and the baker's kitchen. As for the playability specifically with this set, the drawbridge in the front when not set allows intruders to fall into the prison. There's also a secret room inside the rocky walls of the castle for the forestmen, where you can access it from 3 parts, either the outside in a secret entrance, from underneath the main castle entrance, or underneath the little fruit stand within the castle. Overall, the set is incredibly designed, featuring everything a builder could want and more. Clearly, over time, LEGO castles have evolved from a more classic look to a purely modularized design. However, that doesn't mean castles from the 70s to early 2000s are worth any less than the Lion Knight's castle. Even without all the fancy bells and whistles the 2022 model has, they are truly unforgettable with their classic and iconic look. The old saying rings true here that old is gold, and the classic castle sets, while maybe too simplistic, are just simply timeless. As for the Lion Knight's Castle, it represents a newer era of modularized buildings that is difficult to compare with a 57-year path, history, and evolution that has been LEGO castles. Now if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic rest of your day.